Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. From the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The slot man in motion right. They start the drive with Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Cook again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson. 63 yards. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, first down. Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got.
They're looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Credit Zadarius Smith, able to get through and make that tackle for a loss. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 15.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 8 coming up. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. They'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're aware of that.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. James Prochet deep for Baltimore. It's taken on the 25. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins rolling to his right. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
And a nice call and really good execution there, because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on him. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They send him the...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 34 yards. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph now to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And this returnable for Rager. Now a hit and a loose football inside the 20. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a reach. Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's first and 10 just outside the red zone. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins to throw it. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield, but on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
On second and goal, Cousins caught on the slant. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards. And this one winds up no good.
And now the half not quite over yet. This is a live football on the miss. And fortunately here for them, he's going to be taken down before he can gather much momentum on the run back. So no fireworks on the final field goal attempt, and that'll do it for this first half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled in the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game, maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this? We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Cook will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet
that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Looking deep downfield. And now here is another interception. And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their play.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 48 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Cousins on 1st down. That is caught by Thielen. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 56 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because it might not be in.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The fake punt gets them 13 yards. A huge play on special teams. It's a first down. Cousins here to throw. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being